on in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, you are not going to believe it. Where do we start? For one, Diddy, okay? Diddy's demanding he's demanding a mistrial for what? His own lawyer's incompetence. If you guys don't know, Diddy rushed to the trial, okay? Sorry. Diddy rushed to the trial, okay? He rushed into this trial. He needed more time. Anthony Rico said he needed time. He refused to take more time. Now his lawyers are literally crying that they don't have enough time to meet with their client. Sir, your client should have been trying to jury tamper. Your client shouldn't have been threatening people. Then they're saying they need to stay, they want special treatment. They want to be able to stay in the SDNY until 10 p.m. Diddy, you're not slick. You just want to be able to order some DoorDash and finally get some good food because we know you've been struggling with the commissary. What else is he demanding? They're demanding an immediate mistrial because the government pointed out that fingerprint cards went missing, so it was impossible to actually swab the prints. Now, Diddy says, you're implying our client's a criminal. Nah, everybody thinks your client is a criminal. We don't have anything to do with that. Again, the defense thinks there can be two rules. Diddy's narcissism is in full effect. He thinks there's two rules. Rules for him and then rules for everybody else. Y'all been implying and making implications all trial. But you know what the kicker was? Dante, right? Deontay Nash, who literally, a cutie patootie, who bodied Diddy on the stand, literally said that Diddy threatened both of Cassie's parents, said he was going to get them fired, and said before he got them fired, he was going to literally send her Smex tape to everybody in Cassie's mom and dad's jobs. They don't work at the same place. And after that, he was going to get them fired. You guys, when I say the criminal, when I say the Rico, also, you know what? I got to tell y'all this. Judge Arson is tired of Diddy's team. What's up, Neats? Thanks for the super chat. Judge Arson is tired. And when I say tired, I mean tired of Diddy's team. Diddy's team has been playing it cute. So here's the thing. Judge Arson is very accommodating. He's respectful to the jurors. He's accommodating to defense. Even so much that the prosecution is like, hello, can we get a little thing? He has been exceedingly accommodating, okay? However, my opinion, Diddy's team's been taking advantage. They have been taking advantage. They slow walk. They don't listen to deadlines. They talk about articles. They don't put their exhibits in on time. And then they're the first people out there in the court yelling, Your Honor, we're demanding a mistrial. If you don't sit down and get to work, it's actually really odd. Well, not odd, because I see what they're doing and I see why they're doing it. Now, whether that will succeed, that's a different question. Survey says it will not. Eileen Bell, thank you so much for the super chat. And also Confessions of a Reality Queen. Make sure y'all follow her. Thank you for gifting a membership. Also, Andrea Britt said, do it, T said, you know we about to do it like it's never been done. First of all, Deontay, let me put some respect on his name. Deontay literally spent over an hour detailing how Diddy was a monster. Mind you, Mia was supposed to testify today, but Deontay's testimony took so long that Mia couldn't testify. We've only gotten one victim, and already they have painted a symphony on why Diddy is guilty. Baby, he ain't believe. Listen, anybody that bet money that Diddy's beating this, baby, you might as well already start working overtime. You are not getting that money back. So let's get into what happened. Deontay, and I'm giving y'all the overview, then we're going to get into the actual legal stuff. Deontay gave, and I'm not going to lie, Deontay gave literally an hour interview painting the horrors that Cassie went through, painting how Cassie wasn't free to leave, painting how Diddy controlled her life, painting how when Diddy wasn't beating on her, he was making her do hours talking about her running for her life, crying, being dragged back. Everybody's seeing Cassie at one point threatened to jump off a balcony because Diddy told security to bring her home so he could beat her again. She threatened to jump off of a balcony. It was ridiculous. So what did Diddy's team do? Did they give anything showing that Cassie was lying? Of course not. Did they do anything to show that there's more to the story? No. What do they send? They spend over an hour trying to prove there might have been one time that Diddy's security did not send Cassie to get beat brutally for who knows how long. You guys, when I say Diddy's team, and they were laughing and kikiing, Diddy was in complete control of his team. He was giving glares. You want to hear one thing I thought was interesting before we get into what actually happened? LaTerese Hopkins says, love your drive. I love that. Thank you. Also, Zenith Yasina Buzzle said, justice for Cassie. Cassie had her baby. Oh, that's right, y'all. Cassie had a healthy baby boy. Philadelphia said, do you think Diddy's team is trying to mess up on purpose? Oh, absolutely. So Philadelphia, I'm glad you bring this up. Diddy's team was playing in the judge's face. The judge asked them a question, they tell them whatever. They were supposed to finish up by a certain time. They were slow walking the questions. They were asking too many things. They literally spent 10 minutes trying to get Deontay to testify what a celebrity stylist is. Again, they were playing in the judge's face, and that's why the judge finally flipped out. They are showing, I don't know how they think, they are showing they had, in my opinion, no respect for the jury's time, no respect for our time, and no respect for the judge's time. I do think that they're trying to mess up on purpose. I think they're looking for anything. I think they know that, again, the feds did say that Cassie wasn't their strongest witness. She was a good witness, and she had the celebrity name, but there's a victim number 2 and a victim number 3 that never sued Diddy that they can't say is looking for a payout. And so Cassie was a strong witness, but the defense was like, is it not true you sued? Is it not true you did this? Okay. So, hold on a second. Also, Mia, they said, oh, thank you. Lena said, love your content, listening from Birmingham. Shout out to Birmingham, Alabama. Shout out. Also, really quick, I want to say, Miss RRY, thank you so much for the super chat. Boopsie said, Tisa, thanks for reporting, right? She said, thanks for reporting. Oh, Moni W said, hey, Tisa, thank you so much for all the hard work you did. Thank you. Boopsie said, thanks for reporting all the drama about Diddy. He is a monster. He most certainly is. Love your reporting. Thank you. And also, Senor Rojo said, thanks for taking us inside the courtroom with detailed info. By the way, Trump just pardoned Larry Hoover. Now, can we actually talk about this? Y'all, I think that Trump is he might be working up to pardon Diddy. I know you think it sounds far-fetched, but you're pardoning Larry Hoover. I think he might be working up to pardon Diddy because I'll talk about that in a different video, but I do think it's crazy, and I do think that this is leading up for a Diddy pardon. Diddy's been making inroads. Him and Chris and Kim owe a favor to her. But honestly, let's talk about this, right? Diddy's team was slow walking. Diddy's team was stalling. Slow Rilla said, great job listening from Memphis. Shout out to Memphis, Tennessee. Diddy's team is doing everything it can, but Diddy's team has no defense. He's literally, at what part Mark Agnifilio was trying to lead us to believe that the car bomb in Kid Cudi's car wasn't that serious because it only burned a little side of the street, because his goons were so inept that the car bomb didn't work. Okay, right? They also have, right? Hold on, there's a few other things, right? I will say this one thing about Capricorn side. It's going to be really interesting to see what side Lauren London will testify for, because she's cool with both Diddy and Cassie, and that Chef Jordan is still cool with all of Diddy's kids and Fall All. Now, I have heard from California sources that Lauren London is a loyal friend. They don't expect her to testify for Diddy, but I actually do wonder how that's going to turn out, right? Listen. Again, they're mad that it looks like Diddy paid off the LAPD to destroy evidence. Now, did the prosecution say, no, we made the inference, but it's just like the defense is giving us all these inferences to make, right? Again, the lead up to the Mistrial drama was a mess. And on top of that, right? We now that the testimony is going, the male exotic dancer Punisher is apologizing for Cassie for the freak off because he didn't, that she was forced. And on top of that, right? They are, listen, Listen, the prosecution is also very confident in their case. They said that they are wrapping up their case, and they're going to be wrapping up maybe a week early, if not more. But there's more. There's more this time. Let's get into Deontay's testimony. I will say this. Deontay ended Diddy. Diddy don't. Nunya B says, Nunya B said Capricorn Clark is, why can't I do any? Nunya B said Capricorn Clark. I'm trying to get these things, see what comments y'all making, but I can't find them. Miss RYY, thank you so much for the super chat. Boopsie, thank you so much again. Hold on, you guys had a question about Capricorn Clark that I really want to address, because the Capricorn Clark testimony, I do think that she was the one that ended Diddy, and everybody else is just putting a little color on it. Let's get into the Capricorn Clark question. Who said that? 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Let's get into the Capricorn Clark stuff. Hold on, y'all. Okay, everything's malfunctioning. I can't see the question right now, but we will get to it. Hold on, y'all. We'll get to it. Oh, Moni M, thank you so much for being a member for 13 months. Somebody had a question about Capricorn Clark, okay? Monteos Victoria, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Trump just pardoned, that's what it was. Senor Rojo said, thanks for taking us inside the courtroom. Trump just pardoned Larry Hoover. Yes. All right, listen, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I can't get to the super chat question. Somebody asked a really good question about Capricorn Clark, but we cannot get to it. So we'll just get into Deontay's testimony. All right, where do we leave Deontay off? Deontay said that Diddy literally took his phone, made him go upstairs to try to bring Cassie down, took his phone, forced him to bring Cassie down. Cassie actually threatened to jump off a balcony, okay? Thank you, Nirmala Sammy said, you give me Wendy Williams vibes, love it. And Mindfulness, yes, we love a Queen Wendy. Okay, listen, because I want to get into these details from the courtroom, but I want to make this quick because I'm going to do a full breakdown live, because we have to talk about this mistrial and what's the odds of it actually getting granted, okay? But let's get into this, okay? They said this is the craziest, one of the craziest stories, okay? Just a little, okay? They said Mia was in a photograph. This is her Cassie's 29th birthday, okay? Mia was helping Cassie pack, right? Diddy called her and said, B, didn't I tell you to answer the phone, okay? So this was on Cassie's 29th birthday, okay? He then said, B, didn't I tell you to answer the phone? He busted into the room. He grabbed her by her hair. He pulled her by her hair, okay? And he just started hitting her, beating her up, very, very hard hits, right? He literally looked at everybody in the room and said, y'all gonna stop effing playing with me. It was Deontay, Cassie, and Mia. They ran into the bedroom door. They were trying to close the bedroom door because and Diddy was like a wild man trying to knock the bedroom door open, right? He literally then went with his fist and was hitting and kicking Cassie. He was beating Cassie up so bad. Deontay tried to help and jumped on Diddy's back. Diddy spun him off, right? Then Mia, that's the alias witness, jumped on Diddy's back and tried to get him off of Cassie. He spun her around and spun off. Deontay actually got hurt. He said not very much, but he was sore, but nobody could pull Diddy off of Cassie. Yvette Blogger, thank you so much for the super chat. Layla Watkins, thank you for the super chat. Donna F said Trump is probably on tape somewhere. I don't know. Trump runs the CIA. I'm sure wherever the freak off tapes are, if he wants one to disappear, I'm sure he can do that. I'm just saying. Okay, they're also, okay, so what else happened? Oh, it's not over, okay? It's not over. So then Mia jumped on the back, right? He continued to, the whole time two people were on his back, he was wailing on Cassie, hitting her. You guys, I'm giving you the first thing of the thing. We'll get into the legal specifics later, but for y'all, can you just listen to what happened? Because it was dramatic testimony. Deontay did that, right? They said that literally, he literally hit Cassie and made her hit her head the corner of the bed. He said that like it broke open her face. There was blood dripping down her face. It looked like a horror show. Diddy kept on hitting her. Then when the blood got so much, probably his fists were slipping, Diddy then was like, oh, listen. And literally he kept beating her for a few more after he saw the blood dripping down her face. Mia ran to get towels. It was only when D-Rock pretty much stepped in that Diddy then was like, what did he say? He literally looked at Cassie with blood all over him from what he did, spilling off her face, still beating her while blood's pouring down and her face is cracked open. Cassie then, he stopped because Mia got some towels. Cassie ran into the second bathroom to hide, and he literally looked at them and said, now look what y'all made me do. Deontay picked up the phone to call 911, but somebody in the room was like, yo, hang up, you better not call, right? He then had D-Rock, with Cassie didn't want to go, take her to the plastic surgeon to fix her face, right? He literally then said that he went to the surgeon. Now, then he said a little while later he didn't see Cassie, but a few times later, he FaceTimed Cassie and he saw she had stitches on her forehead, right? He said another time Cassie was cooking with Deontay. Diddy popped up. He wasn't invited, but he popped up. He literally said to him, hey, I want to talk to Cassie for a minute. Deontay was like, okay. He then grabbed Cassie by the hair, grabbed her by the back of her hair and the back of the shirt. And he literally said, I don't give an F. Oh, are we here? Okay, he literally said, I don't give an F about what y'all got going on. Get the F out of my house. He then grabbed Cassie by the hair, was punching her in the back of the head, pushing and kicking her out. He then this is in Cassie's apartment. He then grabbed Deontay, not by the hair, but he was popping him back of the head and kicking him out too, and threw them out to the apartment. Deontay went downstairs, pushed him out the apartment, right? Then Deontay was like, let's come on. He grabbed Cassie and dragged her back in the house, right? Deontay was like, what is going on? He ran to the lobby to get his car, right? So him and Cassie could get out of there very, very easily. The people in the lobby, which was D-Rock and a bunch of security people, was like, you need to wait a minute for Puff to come down. And they were like, well, why'd you wait? He said, security blocked me in, right? So I couldn't really leave. He said Cassie then came down with Diddy, right? And Cassie got in the car with Deontay. Diddy started cursing him out, saying, you can take your broke ASS and ride into the sunset. He said he was saying all this crazy stuff to him and Cassie. It was a complete mess. Yvette Blog, thank you so much for the super chat. Laya Watkins, thank you for the super chat. I don't know what's going on with the super chat. Shay Prince, thank you so much for the super chat. All right. Oh, really quick. Woofy said someone needs to help Janice with her wig. She looks like she's wearing Cedar. We ain't talking about 80-year-old woman. I'm just glad she slid in there. Interestingly enough, today while Deontay was testifying, Diddy and all his sons and Janice Combs was front and center. Down. I'm not saying it's intimidating, but I'm right. He said after that they drove off on the way. They got a call from Diddy, told them to pull over. Diddy came over to the car window and said she effed up, right? And said to Cassie when he rolled down the window, because he was like, yo, pull over. So he kept beating them, telling them to leave. But then he kept following them and making them pull over. He told Cassie, you effed up. I'm going to release the tape on schedule. I'm going to send it to your parents' job. I'm going to get them fired. Your brother's a bitch. And by the way, I'm the only man and the only person that will ever protect you. Miss Al, thank you so much for the super chat. Diddy is out his mind. He is really Silence of the Lambs, okay? Then Cassie was in tears, right? Deontay told her when they drove off, girl, if he wants to release it, let him, because he's probably on them tapes too. Cassie said he isn't. He just tapes me having smecks with other guys. And she said, hold on, guys. Okay. Huh?
Make sure this is it. I think this is it.
Okay. So then he said, listen, he said she didn't want to. She said he tapes me having smecks with other guys. But so if he releases a tape, I'm the only person that's going to get embarrassed, right? And then she said she didn't want to have sex with the other guys, but Diddy made her. Diddy then called, right? And Diddy, so anyway, they got to Deontay's house. Diddy called. Derek Roach, Diddy's stylist, and also sounds like Hitchman, called them and said, yo, Diddy's on the way, right? And Derek said, I gave Diddy your address. He said Deontay and Cassie panicked. They left the house. He drove her to Sunset Boulevard for her to get a taxi. They said, why you go to Sunset Boulevard? He said, Uber wasn't a thing, and that's the only way you could get a ride. And we did not want Diddy to catch Cassie in my house, right? Cassie said, yo, I'll call you wherever I'm going to go, okay? Oh, okay. Ready?
Right here.
Okay, thank you. Listen, I got to go, guys.